In 2015, a revolution hit Broadway. Under the glow of the stage lights, audiences rose to their feet before the final chord had faded. A hip-hop history lesson with a cast that looked like modern America had turned Alexander Hamilton into the hottest ticket on earth. The show was, of course, Hamilton. And at its center, writing, composing, and originating the title role was Lin-Manuel Miranda. How did a kid from a Latino neighborhood who loved rap and cast albums rewrite the sound of Broadway itself? This is Lin-Manuel Miranda, the man who gave Broadway a new voice. Stay with us, because to understand the phenomenon, we must rewind to where his story begins. In the northernmost stretch of Manhattan, in a neighborhood called Inwood, a baby boy is born on January 16, 1980. His parents, both Puerto Rican-born New Yorkers, name him Lin-Manuel, inspired by the poem Nana Roja para mi hijo Lin-Manuel, in which Puerto Rican poet José Manuel Torres Santiago honors a fallen Vietnam War soldier. His mother, Luz Towns Miranda, is a clinical psychologist, giving him an early education in human empathy. His father, Luis A. Miranda Jr., is a political advisor, teaching him that a well-told story can shape a community's future. Inwood in the 1980s is a vibrant enclave of Latino life in New York City, a place where Spanish bounces off bodegas and salsa music fills the summer air. Young Lin-Manuel grows up between two worlds: the rich heritage of Puerto Rico, which he experiences on cherished summer trips that root his identity in the island's culture, and the restless energy of New York City with its hip-hop beats booming from street corners. From an early age, these sounds and stories wrap around him. By day, the lyrics of Tupac and Big Pun spark his imagination. By night, his parents' old Broadway cast albums like Les Miserables and West Side Story become his bedtime lullabies. It's an unusual mix, but for Lin-Manuel Miranda, it's perfectly natural. He's a bilingual kid dancing between English and Spanish, between Gran Combo de Puerto Rico and Gilbert and Sullivan. In his childhood home, creativity and culture are celebrated. Family gatherings often turn into impromptu performances, with young Lin banging out tunes on the piano or inventing little jingles to make his relatives laugh. He doesn't know it yet, but he's already training for his future, learning how music can tell a story, how a clever rhyme or a heartfelt melody can grab someone's attention and never let go. From the start, storytelling is Lin's playground. At Hunter College Elementary and High School, he immerses himself in writing jingles, acting, directing, and experimenting with original songs, each project a rehearsal for the larger stage he envisions. His parents instill both creativity and responsibility, showing him that art's greatest power comes from authenticity. By graduation in 1998, his path is clear. He will carry the soundtrack of Uptown New York, its rhythms, languages, and lived realities into the heart of Broadway. That mission finds fertile ground at Wesleyan University in 1998. Immersed in rehearsal rooms and student productions, he refines his craft while testing how his multicultural, multi-genre influences can live within classic theatrical structures. By sophomore year, those influences converge. Frustrated by the lack of authentic roles for Latino actors in the traditional musical canon, he decides to write the show he and his friends were waiting for, a musical about the neighborhood that raised him, In the Heights. The 1999 student production is raw but electric, a first proof of concept for the fusion of Latin rhythms, hip-hop, and traditional stage storytelling. When he graduates in 2002, his vow is clear and uncompromising. He will shepherd this story from the campus stage to the professional lights. Returning to New York after graduation, Miranda steps directly from the academic stage into the uncertain world of professional theater. Moving back home, he balances a day job as a substitute teacher with long nights rewriting scenes and scores. Determined to polish the show without losing its cultural heartbeat, he aligns with playwright Chiara Alegria Hudes and director Thomas Kail, workshopping songs anywhere willing to host them. Early 2000s Broadway remains skeptical of bilingual lyrics, hip-hop rhythms, and a barrio-centered story. But each rejection only sharpens Lin's resolve. He holds tight to a mantra that becomes both a creative philosophy and a tool for survival. You are perfectly cast in your life. Go play. It's a necessary reminder during years when the industry seems to disagree. After years of hustle, a breakthrough. In 2007, In the Heights opens off-Broadway, with Lin as Usnavi. Word of mouth is immediate, and on March 9, 2008, the show transfers to Broadway's Richard Rodgers Theater. A critical and commercial hit, it earns 13 Tony nominations and wins 4, including Best Musical and Best Original Score, plus a Grammy for the cast album. More than awards, it proves something vital. There is an audience for these stories and this sound. Act 1 of Lin's career is complete. As In the Heights winds down in 2011, Lin's next idea has already taken root. In 2008, searching for a break, he picks up Ron Chernow's biography of Alexander Hamilton on vacation. In its pages, he sees not a distant historical figure, but a reflection of his own community's hustle. An immigrant striver, an outsider who uses his verbal dexterity to write his way into the nation's founding. In 2009, he tests the opening number at the White House. The room laughs, then rises to its feet. Hamilton will be a musical, and he will see it through. It takes 6 years. Between 2009 and 2015, Lin researches obsessively and writes song by song. During this period, his own life transforms. He gets married and becomes a father. This profound personal shift deepens his connection to Hamilton's central themes: legacy, mortality, and the burning question of what we leave behind. The blend is his signature. Washington's farewell becomes an R&B elegy. Cabinet meetings turn into rap battles. Styles collide and cohere. Crucially, the founders are played by actors of color, asserting that America's story belongs to everyone. It's audacious, risky, and exactly the point. Hamilton premieres off-Broadway at the Public Theater in February 2015 and detonates. The run sells out, extends, and then transfers to Broadway's Richard Rodgers Theater, with previews beginning July 13th and an opening night on August 6th, 2015, again to instant sellouts. The work connects across audiences: students and scholars, hip-hop fans, and theater diehards. In an 18th century coat and ponytail, Lin delivers rapid-fire lyrics 8 times a week, surrounded by a powerhouse, majority BIPOC cast. History is retold and remixed, and crowns lean in. Critics hail Hamilton as a once-in-a-generation work. The album climbs the charts, classrooms adopt the material, and a student program brings thousands to special matinees. In 2016, the show receives a record-setting 16 Tony nominations and wins 11, including Best Musical and Best Original Score, while Lin also earns the Pulitzer Prize for Drama. Accepting at the Tonys, he offers a sonnet that ends, "Love is love is love is love," linking art to empathy on live television. For a time, Miranda's career appeared unstoppable. 2 hit shows, Tonys, Grammys, an Emmy, and a Pulitzer. But the unrelenting demands of performing the title role while managing a global cultural phenomenon carried a personal cost. In July 2016, he stepped away from the role to avoid burnout, later speaking openly about the anxiety sparked by sudden fame and the necessity of strong support systems. Since then, he has become an advocate for mental health awareness in the arts, particularly for artists of color, reminding peers that asking for help is an act of strength, not weakness. Stepping back from Hamilton didn't slow him. He co-wrote songs for Disney's Moana, 2016, earning an Oscar nomination for How Far I'll Go. Co-starred in Mary Poppins Returns, 2018, and appeared in HBO's His Dark Materials. And in 2021, made his feature directing debut with Tick, Tick, Boom, praised for its heart and craft. That same year, he co-produced the In the Heights film and wrote Encanto's songs, sending We Don't Talk About Bruno to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Through it all, Miranda's commitment to community never wavered. This dedication became intensely personal after Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico in 2017. Drawing on the deep connection forged during his childhood summers, he rallied artists for the benefit single Almost Like Praying, fiercely advocated for aid, and in 2019 led a Hamilton run in San Juan that raised millions for local arts. He supports the Hispanic Federation, launched the Immigrants We Get the Job Done coalition, and helped design Hamilton's Student Matinee program, bringing underserved kids to learn, perform, and see themselves on stage. Those who work with Miranda cite boundless enthusiasm, generous collaboration, and a conviction that representation isn't a trend, it's survival for the arts. He mentors emerging writers, champions inclusive rooms, and keeps asking, who tells your story? That question reverberates far beyond Hamilton and in the Heights as new voices claim stages and screens. In 2025, Miranda stands in mid-career with no signs of slowing down.
Hamilton continues to thrive on Broadway and stages worldwide. In the Heights endures through its acclaimed film adaptation. A MacArthur Genius recipient and one award away from achieving EGOT status, he has broadened the American musical soundscape, making room for hip-hop, salsa, Spanglish, and underrepresented voices at center stage, and proven that those once overlooked can command the world's attention. Miranda's legacy is still unfolding, but the shift is undeniable. He proved genre is no barrier on Broadway, that authentic casting expands, not narrows, audiences, and that artists can be civically engaged without dimming their art. Hamilton helped teachers reach students. Its refrain about who tells the story echoes as new creators step up. In a polarized era, his work insists we share the narrative, and that love, ultimately, is the through line. Imagine decades from now, few composers ascend to the level of pop culture icon, but Miranda did, betting on stories once deemed risky and turning difference into strength. I'm past patiently waiting could be his own refrain. He did not wait for Broadway to evolve. He helped lead the change. His invitation remains. I can't imagine anyone but you in the role. Go play. Whose stories today remain untold, and what part can each of us play in amplifying them? Thank you for joining us for Lin-Manuel Miranda, the man who gave Broadway a new voice. From the basement rehearsals in Inwood to standing ovations on the biggest stages in the world, his journey is a reminder that the daring act of telling your own story can alter the culture around you. Which chapter resonated most? The early hustle, Hamilton's breakthrough, or his unwavering lift as you climb spirit? Share below and subscribe to Modern Biography for more stories shaping our time. And as Lin himself would say, you are perfectly cast in your life. Go play your role. Until next time, your voice matters.